My grandfather was a beekeeper. Although he died a little bit before I was born, there was still the equipment around my grandmother's farm. And I was always fascinated with the equipment and the bees that were still there. And then I went off to college to be an engineer, and that didn't work out, and I changed to biology, and then I changed to entomology, took a beekeeping course, and then I was pretty much hooked at that point.
My dad was a beekeeper. I guess he started when I was, maybe I was probably about 11, 12 years old, and he began doing bees, but his great uncle had taught him, his Uncle Art taught him how to keep bees. And we don't know how far back it goes, but they did used to name people for their profession. So my last name is Bee, and we've been doing bees.
I've always been interested in creepy crawly things, and my dad, he was a beekeeper, and his father, he was a beekeeper too. So I just wanted to, read books, take a course, and now do it for myself, see what it's all about.
What's happening right there? My concern is foul brood, because we had that last year. But I see if we had foul brood, those seal cells, a lot of them would have little perforated holes in them. What kind of things do you need to know to be a beekeeper? You need to know about bees. You need to understand that bees have a yearly cycle that they go through, and that you as a beekeeper are really riding that cycle. You are working with that cycle to enhance the bees, to get the production that you want out of them, to get the maximum honey production. It's an emerging one. Remember with the head facing out? Oh, wow. Right there. The classes that we do here at Oakhurst, we talk about basic honeybee biology and how that is relevant to managing the bees. We talk about equipment. We talk about the bee colony cycles. That is how the work changes through the year as you're responding to the needs of the colony. We do honey extractions, how to harvest the product, how to look into a colony and read the colony to understand what is going on in the colony so that you can meet the needs of the bees. Most of the people who take the beekeeping classes, I think, are looking to have 1 or 2 colonies in their backyard. They're looking to, I believe, have a connection with nature. Some are looking for honey, but I think as much as anything, they are looking to just get involved intimately with some aspect of nature.
Professionally, I'm a medical physicist, and that keeps me indoors a lot of the time, working with computers, working with radiation devices. And beekeeping is a whole different side that brings me out into the garden where I like to be. And I find gardening and beekeeping very therapeutic. I just love it. In the first year, I didn't succeed in having the bees overwinter. And the second year, I started with 2 nucleus hives, and I nearly made it into the fall, nearly made it into winter. But I didn't succeed because of, I don't know, things maybe I don't completely understand. Now this is my 3rd year, starting with 2 nucleus hives from the beginning. I have a 3rd swarm hive. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling like I can pull through the winter with these bees and, come check on me later on.
I don't expect it to be a huge nest because it hasn't been there that long. It's just going to be dependent upon how big the swarm was when it left the parent hive. I do remove bees as a full-time occupation. I remove them and rescue them, usually from in between wall studs, overhangs, bay windows. Those are all perfect places for honeybees. Oh, you have bumblebees. These are not honeybees at all. We're gonna suck a few bumblebees here. What is that room above there?
That is a classroom.
That's another classroom.
Yeah, but it's nothing up there.
Typically, the hive gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the worker bees sort of panic, and they want more room, more space. So they make themselves a new queen. They push the old queen out. Lots of her loyal workers fly with her, and she hangs somewhere. That's called a bee swarm. What the scout bees are looking for is a nice small hole with an empty cavity behind it. I tell you, I think we're going to be all right if we clog up the hole on the outside, keep them from coming in, the cavity is really going to be too big for them to use. So that's one reason I know these are scout bees. What I'd like to do is go around the perimeter. There's a lot of woods here. I'm just going to take a look around, see if I can see a hanging clump of bees somewhere. It's a shot in the dark because she could be anywhere, but we'll just take a look and see what we can find. Where are you hanging out, girls? Monday morning, I received a call, and a fella had bees in his dormer window. Once I cut a hole in the ceiling, the sheetrock, I put my shoulders through, and there was comb after comb after comb. They had been there for probably a couple of years, but they had made a large amount of comb in there, and the nest was very big, which is typical. I use a vacuum system in which the bees are sucked into a bucket where I have some comb for them to crawl around on. I don't suck them straight into the vacuum cleaner, which would kill them. So I end up with bees in a bucket, and when the bucket gets moderately full, I'll change it out and use another bucket. I would estimate there was probably about 200 pounds of honey that came out of there. It was a large-sized nest, and the fellow was happy to be rid of the bees. I really am very adamant about never killing honeybees. I rescue them. I take them to any number of out yards that I have where I keep a number of honeybee hives for pollination or for honey production.
Okay, you want to turn on the switch there? Now I am uncapping.
Can we stick our finger in it?
No, we're going to uncap this. I enjoy bees. Some people might call me a pet lover as far as bees go. Okay, I want to turn each one. I want to turn that one around.
We don't have much honey though.
No, we aren't going fast enough. We're going to have to go a little. Also, the fascination of you get honey out of it. So you get some food, and you get to enjoy that also.
The comments I've had about my honey last year was that the finish was really sweet and not sharp like you see with a lot of store-bought honey. It's very pleasurable giving that to neighbors and coworkers and family members because it was like giving them a piece of gold the way they were so happy to receive this unique gift.
Anyone who has the slightest interest, I highly encourage them to become a beekeeper. We need all the beekeepers we can get. It's good for the environment, and it's just a wonderful hobby.